Welcome to the Great Girlfriends podcast, where we discuss life, love, laughter, and everything in between. We're your hosts. I'm Sybil Amuti.
And I'm Brandis Daniel. And we have with us a third great girlfriend today. Woo! Miss Rosie Uwague.
Hey!
Did I pronounce that right? I got it right?
You got it, Brandis.
Good.
Hey, great girlfriends. You got it, Brandis.
So this is such a treat for us because we're basically sharing our resource with you guys. Some of you ask us, how do we manage to do so much? How are we able to keep up with all of the things on our plate? And one of the resources and tools that we use is Miss Rosie as our productivity coach. So we are sharing her with you today.
Hey!
Hello.
Don't be scared. This is not going to hurt. It's not going to bite. This is going to be fun. Get your pen and paper. No, seriously, because Rosie has been just a huge example in our lives of a woman who has taken a hold of the things that she wants to see manifested and really gone after that with pure ambition, intention, and action. And I think it's so important that when you see people like that, you grab them up and put them in your pocket and say, all right, it's time for us to use you to help transform the way we approach certain things. And so for our business, RoseAnne. RoseAnne has been instrumental in really structuring the vision. Kind of, we have the vision in the cloud, and we look up at that big cloud of vision, and then it's like, okay, how do we take that vision and lay it out onto some days and months and hours? And I think that RoseAnne, you've been really a force.
Thank you.
A force. And so we were saying earlier, RoseAnne, let this be proof that we are actually recording today because you are here with us.
There you go.
So we are being productive with our time. But I think it's so important, girlfriends, to first understand the woman, because we're not sitting with someone who is just a regular old girl. I mean, none of us are regular old girls, but I really think you fascinate me in the way that you move and navigate life. And since we've known you for years, but knowing you and hearing you say that you want something and then seeing it happen 5-6 months later, with the baby on one side and the husband on the other, is like, wow. So I love that. I want to know from you, RoseAnne. And aside from that, we were laughing about the fact that RoseAnne is Jamaican.
Well, my Jamaican great girlfriends.
By default, Jamaican RoseAnne is going to have, 3 jobs, right? That's that stereotype.
I know, right?
But how many jobs do you have, RoseAnne?
So I work in human resources and I'm a productivity coach. So let's count them. I have 2 jobs.
Let me rephrase that. How many titles?
Yes.
Now that's a different story.
Yeah, let's do that. How many titles do you have? Woman, wife, mom.
So I am married to an amazing Nigerian man. We've been married for coming up on 5 years.
Yay.
I have 2 boys. I have a 3-year-old whose name is Hadar. And I have a 1-year-old whose name is Othniel.
Oh, and they're so cute. Oh, so cute.
They're yummy.
I love it. And so then you work in HR.
I work in human resources, yes, full-time. And I commute into the city. I'm a Jersey girl now.
Okay. Welcome.
And you're an author.
I am an author. I have 2 books. I have a book called 7 Pounds, 13 Ounces. It's about my spiritual journey to motherhood. And I have a second book called Plug In, A Woman's Charge to Pursue in Harmony.
Awesome. And they're both available on Amazon, correct?
Both available on Amazon and on my website. I'll spell that out for you at the end.
Okay. And then you're a sister.
Sister, friend, auntie. The list goes on.
Mentor, advocate, volunteer. Because we as women wear all these titles, right?
We sure do.
We do.
And we try to wear them all in one moment. And it overwhelms us sometimes.
Absolutely.
And it keeps us from being able to be effective at one, because we're thinking, but I'm a sister on the back end, but I owe this at work, but my husband's looking at me, but the baby wants me, but my friend is calling me, but my visions just won't happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And a lot of times something's going to fall through the cracks. Unfortunately.
Absolutely. You were talking with us earlier about this really alarming percentage that I never want to be a part of, but I want you to just share.
Yeah, so great girlfriends, 92% of people do not accomplish their New Year's resolutions. So we're talking about only 8% of people are slaying those goals.
Full transparency, I was in that 92% for a long time.
Haven't we all been there?
I'm just going to go ahead and say
Yes.
I held that percentage down for
Yes.
a long time. Then I realized New Year's resolutions weren't for me.
Let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you what stopped me from making it to the 8%.
What stopped you?
Tell us, Brandis.
These 10 pounds. These 10 pounds keep stopping me from making it to the 8%.
I hear you. That's me every year. Yes, so with baby number 1, I was 160, then I went to 199. Then I was like, yeah, New Year's resolutions, dropping the 20 pounds, dropping 30 pounds, making all these unrealistic goals. And then after baby number 1, I'm like, yeah, so we're not going to make those unrealistic goals because they're just not happening. And that's what's putting me in the 92%.
Right.
So with baby number 2, I was like, all right, I need to figure out something more manageable, more realistic, because this weight is not going anywhere, especially since I wasn't planning to do anything different. I was still eating my ice cream. I was still eating my cake and cookies.
Right.
And I used to say stupid things. Well, not used to, I still do. Like, I'm allergic to the gym. I can't do all that. So with
You're
not
throwing some shade right now. That's my line. And that's my line. I'm allergic.
I'm telling you, yeah, there's something there that's just not for me. You're on a treadmill for 10, 15 minutes, but you're in the same place. That doesn't make any kind of sense. So, yeah, that wasn't for me. So I realized that is not the way. To get out of that 92%, we got to do some things differently, ladies.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
No, you're absolutely, you're preaching it. And I know, I'm not going to pretend I'm the only girlfriend in this recording. I know some of y'all are listening and you're saying that's me. Ouch, is she watching me?
Right.
She
got
sees
eyes on
right
you.
now. And yes, we do see you because we hear you, because we get the messages about how you finally decided to make a move, or how this has been holding you back for years and years and years and years and years. And success doesn't come without struggle. It's not that you don't have struggle along the way, because I'm sure if you're going to share your story with us, there have been struggles for you to get to each of these milestones. But there's something I hear in you about intention that pushed you over the edge of saying, I want what I want, and I'm going to go after it, and teach other people how to do it as well. Because what's so effective about you is you don't keep it to yourself. You really do. I mean, you're coaching women all around the U.S. with these tools, practical tools around making the calendar work for you. So, but let's go back into your calendar. Let's get some juice on this story of the woman that is now coaching us all and keeping us tight on our time.
All right, so let's go all the way back.
Take us back.
So she already told you that I'm Jamaican. I was born in Connecticut, but 6 weeks later, I moved to Jamaica. So that beautiful accent that you hear right now, that's the Jamaican representing, right?
Yeah, man.
So, all right, let's not get civil on the Jamaican accent. She sucks at it. You should hear her try to mock me. Anyways, so I lived in Jamaica until I was 16 years old. I lived with my mom and my dad before they got divorced. My dad moved to New York, and then I was living with my mom, did high school, and then once I finished, I came to New York to join my dad. But I always saw my mom as such an amazing woman who was able to accomplish so much. She was a mom of 2. She was active in her church. She had, my parents had businesses together. They had all these recording studios. They had a babysitting company. They did all these things. So just watching my mom, it was just so amazing to see how productive she was with the resources that she had. She never made excuses. She just made sure that whatever we needed, we had. My dad was still in the picture, and when someone talks about them stereotypes with the hardworking man and the hardworking Jamaican person, on point. My dad always held on a job, always made sure that we had everything we need. So I had 2 amazing parents who were amazing examples of productivity.
Wow. And so once you moved to New York, you had to decide, okay, what is my path going to be?
And I love that you say my path, because up to this day, if I look back at my life, it's not a well-orchestrated plan. It's not like one of those people who said, okay, I'm going to be a lawyer. I'm going to go to law school. I'm going to be a lawyer. I'm going to practice law. My path is nothing like that. I went to King's Bar Community College to do an associate's in travel tourism and hospitality. From there, I went to Baruch to do my bachelor's degree and my master's in corporate communication. So no tie in there, right? Then I was working as an event planner for the bar president of Brooklyn. And then after that, I did a lot of events. I did business development and consulting. Then I moved to China to teach English.
Yes.
Fast forward, I come back to New York. I'm working in human resources. And I'm looking at my life like, wait, what is the plan? Like, I have all these different titles. Like Sybil was saying, it's not just woman, mom, but it's human resources, it's teacher, it's educator, all these different things. And it's not a well-orchestrated plan, but when you look at everything that happened, all those skills and talents and abilities are what help you to do what you're doing today.
Yeah.
That's so true.
I think that kind of stuff, when we look at the staging behind marriage and motherhood, truth be told, there's not a well-orchestrated plan. It's a flex plan, right?
Oh, yeah.
And
we're tweaking daily.
Yeah, and part of being successful, feeling successful at being a wife and being a mother is having the flexibility to tap into different parts of your life. And so when you have sort of some fluidity around what life will be like, it opens up space for that. It's not you always needing a perfect picture and trying to build this perfect picture of what it's going to be, but just being open to what it offers you.
Right.
Yeah.
And I love that perspective, because if I was just in this tunnel vision or this narrow-minded perspective of I'm an accountant or I'm an educator or I'm XYZ, I would never allow myself to have author as one of my titles. I would never allow myself to have productivity coach in my circle, because I would say, no, I'm an accountant. This is what I do. No, I'm a lawyer. I practice law. But when you have that fluidity, like Sybil said, it allows you to open up yourself to more experiences and better opportunities.
I love that, because I think sometimes our great girlfriends choose not to pursue something that they love because it's not going to make sense to other people.
Ooh, preach.
Like, how am I going to be a doctor but then make cakes on the weekend?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so they decide, because this is going to look crazy, because I'm going to have a hard time explaining this to people, I'm not going to do it, which is insane.
That's
It
so
is.
By the way.
It's
It
so
is.
true.
Yeah, it really is. What do
That's
you
good,
think,
Brandis.
like, as you've been coaching women, what are you finding, like, the biggest challenges?
That's a great question. A lot of people think that productivity coaching is just a checklist. I have 10 things to do today, and as long as I check them off, I accomplished something. But the biggest challenge is the mind, the mindset. I've spoken to women who have the imposter syndrome. What that means is you believe you're a fraud. So maybe you want to model and you're looking at yourself like, who do I think I am? I'm not good enough to model. Or you want to start a podcast, you want to write a book, and you're like, no, I can't do that. People are going to think that I'm a fraud. Or you have these people who have all these talents, but they think people are going to find them out. They're going to say, oh, you're not as smart as you really are. You have women like Maya Angelou. She's written on her 11th book. She was still saying, they're going to find me out. They're going to realize that I'm not that smart.
Isn't that something?
Maya Angelou.
Isn't that something?
Wow.
So the biggest challenge I've seen is getting out of your mind.
Yeah.
Not allowing the fear of success to cripple you, not allowing the fear of failure to cripple you, not allowing the fear of the unknown to cripple you. The unknown is a big one. So what I love about the productivity coaching, it's not just, hey, do this, do that. Did you do that? Did you do that? It's more of, what is it that is preventing you from doing it? What are you afraid of? What is it that we need to work through? Where do you need support? Is it that you don't have time because you're spending all your time on social media? Is it that you don't have time because you need someone to help you with cleaning the house or babysitting for 2 hours? Where is it that we need to work time out? What are the resources that you need?
I'll say one of the big things you helped me with, my first go round with you. It's been many rounds.
You see how she said her first go round.
My first go round.
Like the first time I was in jail.
Right.
That first stint in prison.
My first stint, yes. But part of what was so good was helping me see my time. Literally, any financial planner will tell you, if you don't have eyes on your money, you won't have any money. So if you don't have eyes on your time, you won't have any time. You'll always think that it's stacked because you measuring your time against those titles. And I think what was so valuable for us, the first go round, because now I use it now, is having my eyes on my time to really see there's a lot more time in my schedule than I actually have accounted for. But if I don't put my eyes on it and actually see it so I can map it out, I won't navigate it.
That's absolutely true.
You taught me that.
That
Thank
is
you.
my pleasure.
I'm a better woman because of that.
I love it.
I'm a better woman.
And
Yes.
it's so amazing that Sybil said that, because Sybil went from I'm not a morning person to hey, let's do a 7 a.m. call. Sybil went from I can't do this. I don't have time to the clock is my friend. I'm a friend of the clock.
Yes.
You know, she totally changed her mindset. And it just shows that mindset is a major part of, you know, being able to accomplish what you want to.
But how big is that though? Think about that. The clock is my friend.
It's huge.
That's Sybil's line.
It's huge because I think one of the things that really stops us from even moving forward is we literally look at the things we have to do, and it seems like they are all stacked up in front of us,
yeah.
right?
Everything is important.
And it's a moving truck.
Yeah, and it's and you know, you add one more thing to that, and you just feel like I just can't, like you just. And so, you know, I know part of it for me is writing it all down. Like, just writing it all down takes the pressure off.
Yes.
And I can actually make a plan for it.
It's a brain dump.
Yes, totally.
And then you get to see, is this really priority? Like, do I really need to do the laundry today, or can I do it tomorrow?
Yeah.
The laundry never makes my list.
I love it. Listen, you do what works for you.
That's the one thing that's never on my list.
I feel like laundry for me is background music. Like
Total
while
background
I'm doing
music.
something else,
Right.
laundry.
I just throw it in, you know. Thank goodness I'm not like lugging laundry down the street like I did when I first moved to
Oh my
Harlem.
God.
Girl, high 5 pounds on that.
my
I used
God.
to drop it off. I was like, no, this is not an effective use of my time.
Okay,
And
reclaiming my
and
time.
I'm not doing it. But how powerful is that? You think about what we were talking about. Most of us at work, you have however many hours in a day. And most people feel like they don't have enough time in their day to finish the work that they need to get done. And you carry that mindset. That's 8 to 9 hours, most of us. We carry that home.
There you go.
We don't leave that on the table and
It's
then
true.
commute. We carry that into the car. I don't have enough time, and then this commute is an hour, so I don't have enough time to call people, and then I can't cook, and then I don't have time for the gym because I don't have enough time. We just keep carrying that,
True.
carrying it,
And
everywhere
keep telling
we go.
ourselves that.
The
too.
power
wake
of your
up with
words.
that.
There you
We
go.
wake up talking about I don't have enough time. I don't have enough
Yeah.
time. I'm working in the one of the mentor circles I'm working on. We talked about having 10% of your time for yourself. That's 2.4 hours in a day. And the first thing was like,
Right. I don't have any time.
where am I going to get 2.4 hours? Where are you
For
going to get it
myself,
from the 24?
Right.
You have it.
Right.
There you go.
You have it. It's but if you don't dedicate it,
Yeah.
you somebody's going to make use of that time.
Yeah.
Yes.
My
It's true.
kids, if I don't tell them get out the way,
Get out the way.
go find a hobby,
Right.
they will snatch those hours as their
Yeah.
own. Or my husband, with all the love in his heart, people will
People
come.
Yeah.
will come
And
for your
account
time.
for your time or your job. They'll take it. They'll
Yeah.
gladly take your
they
extra
sure
time.
will. I love that you ladies said that. So Brandy's talked about writing it down, and then Simba talked about other people making use of your time if you're not going to make use of it. What I love about that is what I wrote in my book, Plug-in. So there's a chapter that's called Say No. And when you write down your goals or your to-do list, when someone calls and says, hey, can you watch my kids for 4 hours? You look at that to-do list. No, right? So obviously it's not about being mean or being rough, but you have to reclaim your time. You have to make sure that what you need to accomplish is set in stone. Obviously,
Yeah.
you're going to have flexibility. There's going to be a time when someone really needs you. Obviously, poor planning on their part is not an emergency on yours, but
Come on.
sometimes, you know, the to-do list is not going to be as you want it. But when you look at that and you say, I need to accomplish all these things to fulfill my legacy, to create what I need to do, to make sure that I'm living in my purpose, and someone comes with some foolishness because of their poor planning, not today.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's so true.
Absolutely.
That's a big part of it. So let's think about that. We talk a lot about the relationship part of things, and as the more people that you invite into your life, say a husband, a boyfriend. let's start with a significant other,
Okay.
and then you invite children into your life, and then you have all these people that are really pulling-
Organizations.
Yes.
You're on the board.
Be on the board.
You're in the sorority,
You're in sorority.
or in a-
your
you know,
travel
Volunteering
group.
at church,
Yeah.
traveling.
Yeah,
Yes.
and so we have all these commitments. Sometimes I feel that sometimes those commitments keep us busy, but they don't necessarily commit to the vision.
Absolutely.
Tell me something that you offer. Well, I've seen you offer to me, but I want you to introduce to the girlfriends of how you make sure things are aligning. And with the vision, because some things are out of season, and a big part of the new year, I think, is assessing your time and the seasons you're in, and saying, okay, wait, that volunteer commitment might need to shift, or like you said with the 4 hours, if I'm gonna give you 4 hours, you're gonna need to take 4 hours of my laundry or my kids, or something has to give on that. But what is something that you use as a tool to help us as women see how to bring all that, or make sure the vision is always being manifested?
So you definitely have to have clarity around your vision, because if it's too vague, then it allows for other people to kind of change that vision. So once you know what it is that you want to accomplish, that's when you're able to make sure that it's aligned to what you need to accomplish. So let's put it like this. You want to write a book. You look at your time and you say, if I put 2 hours per day for 5 days a week, I can write a book. But is that realistic? Do you have 2 hours per day? Not so much. So then you do something more manageable. You break it down into bite-sized pieces. When I wrote my book, I knew there was no way I was going to sit at a computer for 2 hours without a distraction. So I said, I'm going to commit to 10 minutes Monday through Friday. On my lunch break, I took 10 minutes to write. And then momentum started building. And then as the momentum built, passion started igniting. I'm like, yes, I'm getting things done. This is getting exciting. Then once the kids went to bed, I was writing. But it's all about, like we said earlier, looking at your time. Putting things in your calendar, that's a tool. Because if you have everything in your head, you're putting too much pressure on yourself. So you write your goals down, you put it in the calendar. At 10 a.m., this is what I'm going to do. 12 p.m., this is what I'm going to do. So it's not about being rigid, but it's about being organized and making good use of your time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you put intention behind it. You made that book a piece of that. And Michelle Thornton in Strategic talked about that, how she, on her commute, would take that out. Actually, she said she was spending an hour on social media. And she was like, you know what? That Instagram hour, I'm going to put towards my book. And now she's on Strategic 2.0, writing towards her third book. But just like you were saying, this time belongs to me. I'm going to be intentional about what I want to see happen with it. And big part of your vision was making sure that these books were produced.
Absolutely.
And you must have put a timeline to it. Did you put accountability to it? Did you call 5 friends, or was it just you and God? Like, how did you make sure it's done? Because a lot of times we'll put things on our calendar, and if nobody's watching, we're like, well, I can skip that.
Right.
And we got to be grown up about this thing.
Absolutely.
You can't need somebody all the time, but sometimes it's good to call a friend and say, hey, I'm working on this. This is a project, and I need you to keep up with me. Can you handle?
Yeah. Accountability is major.
Okay.
So one thing about me, if I tell you that I'm going to do something, I'm like, crap, why did I tell them? Now I have to do it, right? Like, so if it's just you, you're like, okay, tomorrow I'll do it. But once you have that accountability where someone is expecting a result at the end of the timeline that you told them, that helps so much. So what I did, I started a challenge. I knew a couple people who for years were saying, I want to write a book. I want to write a book. I want to write a book. Or I want to learn to swim. I want to do, whatever it is that they were saying. And I sent a text message and I said, hey, that goal that you were talking about, how about we keep each other accountable? And like, all right, let's do it. So I would send a text message like, time to write, or make sure you write today, text me when you're done. And then if I missed a day, they would send me, did you write today? And I'm like, oh crap. And then I'll respond 10 minutes later, just finished. So that accountability helped. So, sometimes you may not have a friend who can do that because they have their own things that they're working on, or maybe accountability or organization is not their strong point. But you have to find someone, whether it's someone you can trust as a friend or someone that you hire, you have to get that accountability. That support is necessary.
Sometimes you can put a message on Facebook and say, hey, need accountability on this.
It's
and a
true.
friend from 5th grade will be like, I got you. I mean, literally, when you put it out there, you never know who, or, when you find meetups or group circles that are mission oriented around the same thing, maybe it's entrepreneurship, someone in that circle can support you.
Absolutely.
But we can't pretend that the resources aren't out there.
The resources are available. They are here, yes.
Yeah, so it's being creative.
So what do our great girlfriends need to walk away with?
Yeah.
So I personally believe that everyone needs a coach. It can be an accountability partner, like, Sybil was saying, just a friend that you call. It could be a group that you go into, but everyone needs a coach. If you think about the people who are successful, you have artists, they have a coach. You have sports players, all these athletes, they have coaches. why is it that we don't need a coach?
That's true.
Right.
Because half the people who are killing it in sports right now would not be killing it without a coach.
Yeah.
There you go.
They have some kind of trainer
Yeah.
and there's conditioning. Why do we think as women we get here and we got this?
Right.
No. I mean,
do need
literally,
that.
I just got that visual and I was like, yeah, they're the best because sometimes they have the best coaches.
They have the
They
best
have someone
coaches.
conditioning them
Yeah.
and teaching them things that they can't see and helping them with their blind spots. And you're absolutely right about that.
Yeah.
I
And-
think everyone needs you. I'm gonna say it, RoseAnne. I think you are super
Yes,
sharp at.
thank you.
You are. It's not a shameless plug, but you really you are super sharp at what you do, and you love it. I don't
do
love
love it.
managing my time as much as I love it being managed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Yeah.
love doing it. I like for someone to check in with me and say things and keep me accountable on certain. But I don't love the organizational part of it. I'm a creative. I like to be fluid. I don't like the commitment.
But you don't
And
have
I'm total
But
opposite,
do you
yeah.
even have space for more clients right now?
I actually do. I
Okay.
can take on a few clients. I actually do have space.
Okay.
Y'all better
All right.
email
There
the
you
great
go.
girlfriends at Gmail because I'm just saying this year is yours. All right, I'm sorry. Next tip. I'm sorry.
You have to eliminate your vices. So if it's social media, whatever is distracting you, you have to get rid of it. If it's the girlfriend who's like, hey, let's go to brunch, you say, how about you come to my house and we work on our goals? You know, I love social media. I love Instagram, but I can't devote all my time to Instagram. I have to make sure that if it's something that's taken away from what I need to accomplish, you have to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have to manage time around that. It could be the fact that you're not focused on what you need to do, so everything else becomes a priority. Hey, can you help me move today? Well, I don't have anything else doing, so sure. You know, you have to eliminate the vices, eliminate the distractions, and
TV shows.
TV shows. I'm not a big
Yes.
TV watcher, but
Yes.
that can suck your time out. Yes, girlfriends. What's that show? What's that show? You got to get rid of it.
This is us.
Brandis, you knew off the top.
I'm just telling you.
I know you cried
have
river
heard-
on this
No,
with
I never
us.
watched it.
You haven't watched
I have not watched it because I know
Oh.
that I would get addicted,
Oh,
and I
you
don't
would
have the
be
time to get addicted.
Soppy crying.
I already know.
Oh, it's so good.
People have told me they have literally sat there and watched the full season.
Oh my gosh.
It's that good.
I can't. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why. Honestly, that is the one reason why I haven't watched the show.
I'm
Because everybody
telling
tells
you,
me
you
I'm
will
gonna love
suck you
it.
in.
So I'm
Oh
like,
my
you
God.
can do it.
You be done. That you know, there's not enough tears in your body for you.
There's not enough
When
tears
she
in your
sees
body.
This Is Us, because
I'm not watching
I
it.
was watching like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I mean, I did literally do 4 episodes at once because
Oh my
I was
gosh.
so pulled into the storyline. But I cut it. I cut it because I knew that this was going to be a commitment. It's a
Yes.
commitment that I could not commit to.
Yes.
And honestly, they're not committing to me like that. So I was like, this is not reciprocal. I'm going to have to give this up. All
There
right,
you
next
go.
tip. I'm sorry.
Get rid of the excuses.
Ooh. Like what?
No more excuses. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough resources. I don't have what I need. How many great girlfriends have gone back to school to get qualified for something that you are absolutely 100% qualified for?
Ooh.
That's a way to delay
Don't
your
turn
goal.
us off. But that's true.
It is so
Right.
true. It is the perfect
Certifications.
way. Yes, these
Yeah.
certifications, these qualifications. I'm gonna tell you a story real quick, and you can judge me if you want to. So I wanted to take the PMP. That's a certification that you take for project management. I was pregnant, so I had a baby November 2016, and I'm like, yes, I'm just gonna book the exam for December 2016. What do we talk about in terms of goals being realistic? Taking an exam in a month after having a baby, unrealistic goal. So my husband was like, what are you doing? I said, oh, I'm studying for the exam. And he started laughing because he knew it's probably like the first time I'm taking up the book 2 days before the exam. So I was like, don't worry, I got this. I'm enough, right? I got this. So I go to the exam. It's 300 questions. And I'm like the first one out. I'm like, got this. It's multiple choice, A, B, C, D. Come on, I got this, right? And you get the results immediately. And it was like, yeah, so you didn't pass. And I'm like, wait, what? I didn't pass?
Right.
This is the first time I've failed an exam in my life.
Right.
But what I realized from it is I was trying to get qualified for project management to help with my productivity coaching.
And you already
I was doing it
qualified.
naturally, right?
Yeah.
It's not that I was predisposed to productivity coaching, but I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, I need the 3 letters, the PMP behind my name. So when someone says, oh, what are your qualifications? Oh, well, I have the PMP because I am certified. No,
Yeah.
no.
Right.
I am qualified because of the
results.
experiences, the quality, the abilities, the results that I'm achieving in my own life and in the life of my clients. But I was there busy going ahead to get certifications knowing that I already had what I needed.
Yeah.
So get rid of the excuses. Why are you going back to school? Right? So
You need to know why. It needs to match the vision.
motive is everything.
Yeah. I mean, a big excuse right now is that it's too cold to go to the gym. It's too cold outside.
It's freezing.
Like the
I'm
gym
with
is
you,
outside.
Sybil.
Like the gym don't have heat, but but a lot of people are saying right, "Ooh, it's too cold." It's too
I've
cold.
said it. I've said it.
It's too
I've
cold.
said it in some mornings. Absolutely.
Yeah,
There
I
you
mean, we
go.
come up with it, or my kid is different. Like you don't know my kid.
Right.
My kid, girl, that's easy for you to say. Some people have told me, well, Sam and Dylan, they behave differently because I trained them
Differently.
to behave different. They gotta match the house vision, and they cannot run my time, and
Right.
you have to train your kids, and that's an excuse that we as moms, I know I could pull that one out the hat any day of the
Right.
week. She got a fever. She got a fever. What does that have to do with my results?
Yeah.
I can lay her over here and handle that, and I can get it done. But as a mom, we can pull that one, or my husband's, we can pull from our husbands and call that an excuse, or we find creative ways, and we have
do.
to eliminate all of that.
We do.
You're absolutely right. And guys, I'm thinking of a few that I need to just wipe. It's funny how God will talk to you behind the message. The message behind the message is happening.
And
Yeah.
you know what, girlfriends? A lot of people say, oh, I just can't make a decision. Indecision is a decision because you're not doing anything.
so
By saying, oh, I'm not sure if I'm going to do this. I'm not sure if I want to start. That right there is a decision. So it's not that you're
Yes.
undecided. You just decided not to do it. But what Sybil just said about her kids, major. And I've seen it in action. We were at an event and the event ended and she was like, all right, we're going to go talk to all these amazing women in the room. And she gets a text message about one of her kids. And she says, Rosie, I got to make a quick call because XYZ just happened to my kid. And I'm like, all right. So I'm thinking she's going home. She's like, okay, let's go. Let's go where? We're going to go talk to the woman. Wait, but your child is what? He's with his dad. He'll be okay. And if you think about it, it's not negligence. Whatever happened to the child already happened. So her running home,
can I do?
If the kid fell, the kid fell.
Yeah.
You going home, what you gonna do? Break the fall that already happened?
I just don't want to be the hero in my kids' lives all the time. I want other people to have heroic moments.
That was major for me. I was like,
Send a prayer.
yeah. I had to
Jesus,
take a
have
page
mercy.
out of Sybil's book real quick. I was like, oh, write that down. Okay.
Because we want to be free to have these visions manifested. And,
Absolutely.
if we attach ourselves... Girlfriends, just so you're clear, we got how many kids upstairs right now? Like 4 kids.
Yes. Yes.
And we're here in the basement studio getting
Quiet.
it done. Yeah, because we need to know that the vision is moving forward.
Yeah.
And the kids are not an excuse. And even with our single moms, the kids are not an excuse. The absence of a husband is not an excuse.
Not an
And that's
excuse.
very important for them as well.
Yeah. And sometimes you have to get coaches in other areas. Sometimes you
Yeah.
gotta get a mommy coach.
Oh, there you go.
Come on.
Because
Come
that
on.
without Miss Nia,
Yeah.
my life would be very different.
Yeah.
Very, very different.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to do the Great Girlfriends if Scott didn't have a bedtime.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my, bedtime is a whole
It wouldn't be
other-
possible.
Yes.
Yeah.
My kids are in bed by 7:30 and I'm right behind them at 8:39. So that hour and a half, that is my time. But if they were talking about they're going to stay up till 10, no, you got to go to bed. I have things to do.
Put your kids to bed. That's a free one. Put your kids to bed. You need adult silence for a certain set.
Oh, peace
time
of
in the day.
mind is
Put
everything.
those jokers to bed.
She said them jokers.
Let them say goodnight prayers and
Yes.
go to bed. That's so good, RoseAnne. So, how do they keep up with you? I love everything that you've given our girlfriends, and I think we're gonna keep on having this conversation about time
Yeah,
because we need accountability.
absolutely. In order to
Yeah.
achieve the things that we want to achieve this year.
Yeah. What I want to see in our Facebook group and over our testimonials and all the things that we get over email, I want to hear people saying how they took resources around their time, put it on a counter, mapped it out, looked at it, eliminated excuses, and as a result of that, this is what they've now produced at the end of the year. And this is what they've decided to pursue because of that. So that's what I want to hear. I want to hear that. I want to hear us saying, I got out in the cold and I went to the gym.
Went to the gym.
Whatever it is, but I want to hear that from our community.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I love it.
Absolutely. So yes, how do you connect with me? You girls have your pen and paper. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So I'm on Instagram at RUWAGUE. So that's my first initial and my last name. So RUAGUE. RUWAGUE.
Uh-huh.
And my website is RoseAnneUwague.com. So that's RoseAnneUwague.com. You can email me at ruwague@gmail.com. That's RUWAGUE@gmail.com.
Got it.
Yes.
Yay.
Well, we always close out Roseanne by thanking our husbands. Kwaku is holding it down. Thank you so much, boy. I love you.
And thank you so much to Rich Daniel.
Zodua, I love you.
Aw, so sweet. And then we thank our babies, Sam and Dylan. I appreciate you for being patient upstairs.
Absolutely. And this guy who I don't hear.
Yes, he's upstairs partying too. This is good.
Hadar and Othniel for hanging out with Auntie.
Oh, so good. And thank you, great girlfriends, for trusting us as your go-to source for everything life, love, and laughter. Make sure you're listening every Wednesday at iTunes, Stitcher, Podcast Republic, Podcast Bean, Spotify, iHeart, and every other podcasting service.
Yes, and please check us out on our social. You can find us on our Instagram,
The Great Girlfriends,
on our Twitter,
_Great GFS,
our Facebook.
The Great
And
Girlfriends.
please do join our Facebook group and connect with all of the amazing 16,000 plus women there.
Wowzer.
Yeah, I know. Awesome. Make sure you're posting your questions online. Share with your friends. Keep listening.
And keep being a great girlfriend.
Yes, I'm Sybil.
I'm Brandis.
And I'm Roseanne Uwague.
And we're signing off.
Woo-hoo.
Peace.